Hello. How's everyone doing today? We're playing some Risk. Global domination. I hope that nobody gets the bright idea to try and bully the Peatman out of a bonus. Oh man, really? I don't want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the game just picks for you, eh? Fair enough. Guess we're taking Australia again. I don't want it, though. I don't like it, and I don't want it. Oh, snap. Thank you, Tasty, for the gifted. Allergic Peanut. That's a great Twitch name, too. Congratulations on the best worst spawn. Exactly. Merry Christmas. Yeah, man. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Chad. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna show them. I challenge you to ignore the spawn and go for Europe or North America where I have no troops. Jago, that's quite the challenge. I'm not opposed to doing a challenge game. But seeing as how the last one went super great, how about I just play this one straight, folks? We're playing this one straight and see how it goes. How quickly can Pete upgrade to NA? Hopefully quickly. Hopefully quickly. I mean, that's a really nice open. For if you like Australia, that's a really nice open. I don't personally like Australia. But if you like Australia, why is Australia bad? So I've been asked this question a ton. I've blown a lot of hot air discussing it from back and forth. And the way I will put it in this, in a vacuum, Australia is good, not great. It is a +2 that you can hold on one position interior, one position interior. It is good in the early game. It lets you get slight early advantage, okay? But it is not great. However, the fact that every single player looks at that and has the same thought and thinks it's good is what makes it bad. As soon as you fight over it, it becomes bad. Spending any additional troops on a +2, like you would often see a noob slam, like maybe Orange adds his entire open another 6 troops to that 6. So now we have a 12 coming down. That 12 hits a 1, hits a 2, and then has the bright idea to break. Okay? This would be a tell that Orange is terrible, but it might happen. And spending 12 troops on a +2 is just terrible, right? It's just so. Long story short, it's good, not great in a vacuum, but in context, people fight over it, which makes it terrible. And it is an intersubjective problem. I dodged the orange hammer. Yeah, Orange had something better to go for, I guess. Do you visit Western Canada or more Toronto-centric? So I have visited Saskatchewan, Alberta once, British Columbia 3 or 4 times, been to Quebec 3 times, went to Halifax for the first time this last spring, I suppose, so nearly a year ago. Never been to PEI, Newfoundland, New Brunswick, or Manitoba, or the territories. Been to about 50 of the states as well. Or sorry, no, I've been to like 20, I think 26 of the 50 states, about 50%. But when I travel, I want to travel to new places, ideally. I don't want to go to the same places. So that's kind of how I answer your question. Am I Toronto-centric? I've only ever lived in Toronto. Would love to live somewhere else. Would love to live on the ocean. I see no interest in living anywhere else in Canada because it's cold. I don't like the cold weather. How do bits affect me on Twitch? What do you mean? Like what percentage of the bits do I get? I think I get like half. The most efficient way to support the show is via direct donation. There's a link here that says donate. If you just scroll down, that goes directly to PayPal. So you're not using any sort of fictional Amazon-based currency. Subs and bits go through Twitch, which obviously takes a cut in the process. Yeah, my sister moved to Vancouver in the summer of 2019. So I have twin sisters. The three of us drove from Toronto to Vancouver when she moved out there. So I got to travel across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 U.S. states and 4 provinces. Fun road trip. 48 hours of driving, straight up driving to get out there. Do your sisters want to meet me? No. They don't even, llamas, they don't even know you exist. I'm saying dollars aren't fictional. It's an additional level of fiction, Squidling. So if you think of dollars as fictional, using your dollars to buy another currency inside a specific platform that has less versatility is an additional layer of fiction. Can you rank every country in the world in order of my faves? My very favorite place I've ever been to was Singapore. I like warm weather. I like the ocean. Singapore is hot as balls all the time. I loved Australia. Australia's really nice. Right now we're just leaving our stack open so we can make kills if we need to. Have I been to Minnesota? On that road trip, we did go through Minnesota. We stayed in the Mall of America. Went to an escape room. I had a ridiculously large margarita. 1, Singapore, 2, Australia, 3, everywhere else. What's my third favorite place I visited? Belize. I loved Belize. No, never been to Iowa. In my opinion, what are the advantages of Toronto? What makes me want to live here? Well, it's mostly inertia at this point. So I was born in a suburb of Toronto. I've only ever lived here. I didn't move away to school. And then I bought a home and I had a business, and my business was located here and my home was located here. So long story short, 41 years later, I still live in Toronto. But I'm getting real sick of winter. I wonder if the value proposition of living here is a bit askew, as far as I'm being asked to support to a greater outsized extent what I am receiving. And it's cold, right? And I think I'm going to get ripped off anywhere just because I'm a very productive person. I have thought about Florida. The issue is it's not simply up to me, right? I am thinking about what would be the ideal place to raise a family, and my family is here, right? So my kids having access to their grandparents would also be, something that would be a big part of the decision. What are my opinions on the Nayib Bukele stuff going on in El Salvador? I've never heard those words before. What is Nayib Bukele? See, I could live in Florida just fine. Grandparents underrated. 100%. I fucking love my mom and dad with all of my heart. I got absolutely nothing bad to say about those two people. They are very much some of my favorite people in this entire world, and I should be so lucky to have my children spend as much time with them as possible. That's what I think about that. Northern Europe latitude is higher than Canada. Makes us being cold having less sunlight. It can be worse. Yeah, I'm not thinking about moving to Northern Europe, frankly. In a perfect world, I would live in Singapore, right? If I had infinite money, and I was alone and I was the only person making the decisions, I would live in Singapore. Or like Thailand if I was cheap. Where's the Netherlands? So I've been to the Netherlands a bunch of times. My mom is from Holland. We made the mistake of not applying for dual citizenship before the age of 16. So I could have a EU passport, which was stupid of me, but we missed out. Last time I was in Holland, though, I was 16. So it's been a long time. Yeah, I would think about leaving Americas. I'm not hung up on it. You did it just before you turned 18. Are you Dutch as well? Why Singapore? Weather. The fact that it's a developed nation. Why is there all that material in North America? That's wild. Yeah, thinking about it. But if I kill, I mean, yeah, I am thinking about it, Chad. Kill yellow. I'm dodging. We don't have sunlight for 15 days straight. Sounds upsetting. Let's see what happens. I'm going to keep my options open. Do I have kids? No. No, not yet. But I want to start a family in the near term, so that is the biggest thing on my mind, right? It's like my living situation has to be compatible with a family first and foremost. Have I been to UK? Only briefly. If you have, say anything about it other than it's crap hole, you're lying. Well, I visited London. And what was the part of town that I stayed in? Oh, what's that fucking part of town called? Someone was like, that's where you stayed? That's a shithole. Croydon. Is Croydon not a nice part of town? It seemed fine. Wiz would like to know, Pete, how do you handle negativity online? Harsh words and untrue comments. Is it just don't care? I always feel part of people always care and it gets to them in some way or another. How do you deal with that? Do you have some way of thinking to handle it? Be more specific. So, the short answer to your question, how do I handle negativity online, is I have a lot of empathy for people. I'm usually able to put myself into the mental state of the person being negative. I've been a negative person in my past too. So I have a lot of empathy for myself in the ways in which I am not perfect or I don't show up as my best self, right? So oftentimes people trolling are just trying to see if they can get any reaction out of you. Oftentimes people are hard on themselves in an unfair way. Oftentimes people are, as you said, wrong. Right? If they're just lying. I don't really have to defend myself from lies per se, because the only platforms that I really care to work on, like YouTube, I'm in control. If someone is just straight up lying or trolling, their negativity is actually a good sign in a paradoxical way, because their negativity means that my work is being shown to more people. That means my channel is growing. So that's kind of how I think about it. Oh, we get the noob slam from White. White noob slams orange. Okay. But like, if there's something specific you're asking about, be more specific. Like, I want to know what you exactly mean when you say, how do I handle negativity online? I think that other people are free to say and think what they need to be, free to say and think whatever they want, and it's not up to me to police what they think. My standard that I hold internally is I aspire to speak as wisely as I possibly can, which is it's an impossible standard, because A, what the fuck is the definition of wisdom? And B, I work live, so I'm going to put my foot in my mouth a bunch of times, right? I'm very imperfect. But that gives me a lot of empathy for everyone else who's also imperfect and just trying to do the best they can too. That's how I answer your question, Wiz. Is that I feel for people when they're negative, right? Maybe I can't control them. Maybe I can't teach them. Maybe I can't help them at all. Maybe they don't want my help. But the reality is that I have to love them anyways, right? I have to love myself enough to let everyone else be free to be wrong or right or whatever. Right? It's their life. right? We learn from our mistakes a lot. I know I have. So when someone is negative to me, I don't necessarily assume it's personal, right? Oftentimes I'm a TV character. They don't know me at all. I'm just a guy on a screen playing a game, right? So, Squidling, the Bukele thing, what is it? Sort of dictator in El Salvador. He took over the whole government, built giant super prisons, put 2% of the population. Sounds terrible. Unlike most dictatorships, it wasn't a hostile takeover. He was elected first. Yeah, El Salvador, I hear, is very rough, man. I hear it's a very rough country. You're a TV character, Pete. Indeed. Until I'm not. I'm a man. It's very hard, I imagine, for some of you guys to actually empathize with that, right? What is the person that's talking to you right now thinking and feeling, right? Because I'm very productive. So I work really hard at this risk thing. That's a lot of horses. You know, I keep cranking out the videos. Who is this guy? What's he all about? Maybe you don't care. That's the other thing. You don't have to. You're under zero obligation to care about me as a person, right? This is why I try my best to give the most value I can give, right? I want to make an entertaining show. I want to talk about whatever I want to talk about, but I really do want you to feel that I respect and appreciate your time, right? Thank you. I want to put out a positive message as much as I can. I don't always succeed. Sometimes I get pissy, as do we all, right? But I want your time with me to be entertaining, to be fun, maybe to be informative. But, you know, it's funny after how many thousands of hours of my mind poured out in public. Some people know a whole lot about me, and I don't know anything about them. It's a very unequal relationship. If you don't get pissed, you're not being genuine. I do get pissed a whole lot. And I keep my heart on my sleeve in that way, too. I really... if I get pissed, I want to get loud and then just let it out. Move on. You know? So, no kills are being allowed to occur because everyone's in different pockets. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Yeah, and then orange quits. Orange gets a lower placement than yellow here. The important part, Squidling says, is that El Salvador is an interesting dilemma because they chucked tens of thousands of people into jail with little criteria, little trial, but on the other hand, the country was run by gangs, and this measure took care of it. Yeah, so at the root, your question is, do the ends justify the means? Entertaining or informative, you choose if you have to. Me? I think different people take different shit from me, Fonty. I think some people find me silly or fun, and then some people find me a teacher. Call me what you want, just don't call me late for dinner. I will take it. If you guys want to spend your time listening to me talk, it's nothing short of a blessing, right? I got endless gratitude for that. I'm waiting for one of my opponents to make a kill. Might give me a shot. I find you attractive. Thank you, llamas. I don't swing that way, my friend, but it's always a nice compliment. Okay, red helps feed white to purple. No, red's taking white. Red is taking white here. Yeah, very good. Llamas only wants me for my feet. I'll take it. Okay. Feeds me the orange kill. Let's see. Let's see if he does. Moverino says, Pete, I find it very hard to make male friends in my 30s. Okay, yellow bots. I have a lot of fun with females. I think. I feel no competition as it also occurred to me. No, I don't make female friends. I don't make platonic female friends. That is not a thing that I've ever done pretty much in my entire life. And I'm not saying it's not possible for men to be friends with women, but it's not really something that I do. In my 30s, I did make some friends, and it was always via shared hobbies. So I could kill Orange. I don't know that I want to. Red's like, eh. Fuck. All right. Is Hot Buns my friend? I think digital relationships are not the way it was meant. This is how I find out that Pete and I are more than friends. I'm not talking about digital relationships, and I assumed the question referred to IRL relationships. Okay, we're wasting troops. That was a terrible mistake. Don't do that. Oh my God, what are you doing? Am I open for song wishes? What do you want to play? You want me to play rather? Do I have both jokers? That's funny. Yeah, I do make a significant distinction between IRL friendships and the types of relationships I have digitally. But that's probably because I'm an old man, right? I'm an analog person. Sure, let me trade both jokers, game. That makes sense. Okay. The horseshoe strikes again. You love it, Leona. You're just envious. Wherever, whenever by Shakira. Well, it looks like this game is ending, so I'll give you a request. See, I'm just saying I would struggle to be platonic friends with Shakira. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying I would struggle. It would be a struggle. See what I'm saying? Purple threw hard, yeah. Purple threw very hard. Red did not see that. Red was like, wah, what the fuck? Oh, you're welcome. Shakira will be very upset. That's what I mean. She cares 0% about my opinion. Just like fake llamas and me, Shakira doesn't think about me at all. I meant IRL. Every time I start an interesting conversation with a male, they start one-upping. I think you're just talking to the wrong guys, man. Look, not everyone is meant to be a lifelong friend. I'm the type of guy who invests his energy in friendships and tries not to lose them ever. So I have made some friends in my 30s, but I work a lot. Good game, sir. I don't think it. I think the distinction you were making, Moverino, about it being related to maleness or femaleness or whatever, I think that's the wrong direction to look at it. I think if you like a person and you get along with a person, think about the relationship, think about the individual, what they have to say. We can find all sorts of connections in this world, and in the strangest places, in the strangest people. So that's what the pattern I would recognize is, are you my type of person? And not worry so much about whether or not it's a man or a woman or whatever. This is defeating 3 beginners and 2 experts. Yeah. Mervin, fuck you, da! GG Mervin. You didn't see that one coming. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games, good luck.